Today we're digging into some really powerful devotional material from Pastor Chris, Rhapsody of Realities, that's all built around one pretty direct idea. The harvest is now.
It is, and our goal here is to really get at the heart of that urgency, the entire source. It feels like a deliberate correction.
A correction. How so?
Well, it's pushing back hard against this common spiritual mindset, this idea that the real work, the harvest, is something that happens way off in the future.
That spiritual procrastination. I see. And the source uses a key piece of scripture to make its case, right?
It does. It all centers on John 4:35. That's where Jesus says, "Say not ye, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest."
Right. And then he says, "Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest."
Exactly. And to really feel the weight of that, you have to remember, in that time, the 4-month delay between planting and reaping was just how things worked. It was a given.
So Jesus wasn't just using a nice farming metaphor.
Not at all. He was actively shattering their timeline, their expectations. And Pastor Chris is essentially saying that same shattering needs to happen for us. The time is now.
Okay, so that brings up a really interesting point, because the devotional takes that image of a ripe field and applies it to people. It argues that people are ready for the gospel. Even if, and this is a direct quote, they may not look it or act like it.
Yes. It describes this hidden inner state, a kind of searching or yearning for truth that's already there.
And it connects that to a bigger biblical idea, doesn't it?
It does. It points to Romans 8:1, this idea that all of creation is an earnest expectation for the manifestation of the sons of God. That expectation is the sign of the ripe field.
Okay, but hold on. That's a big assumption, isn't it?
Yeah.
To say that deep down, basically everyone is just waiting to hear this message. It could sound like a justification to push a message where it isn't wanted.
That's a fair question. The material doesn't really focus on rejection. Instead, it reframes the reason for the waiting. It says many people are simply waiting for someone to expound it to them.
So the burden shifts. It's not about whether they're ready, but whether we're available.
Precisely. The desire is assumed to be there. The focus is entirely on the believer's immediate responsibility to act.
And that responsibility is intense. The material makes it very personal, saying the listener is the one they're waiting for. It even cites Acts 26:18 to deliver people from darkness to light.
Yeah, that language is strong.
It is. How does it translate that into, practical everyday action?
Well, that's the key. It clarifies that this delivery isn't about some dramatic spectacle. It's about being the person who is simply available and sensitive enough to see the opportunity and explain the gospel.
So seeing the opportunity is the main thing.
Yes, having that spiritual insight, lifting up your eyes, just like the verse says.
Which brings us to where these opportunities are, because it's not about going on some big mission trip. The harvest is, quote, right where you are.
In your school, your office, your community, your town, your city, your family.
And online. That's the one that really stood out to me.
Absolutely. The fact that it includes the digital space as a field is critical. It takes this ancient physical metaphor and applies it to our abstract modern lives.
It really does. So what does a ripe field look like on a social media feed?
Well, according to the source, it's just as real and just as urgent as a conversation by the water cooler. It's another place where people are searching.
So the takeaway here isn't just that the fields will be ready someday. It's that they are ready right now, and any delay is on our side. The situation is urgent everywhere.
That's the core message. It's a demand for constant awareness and immediate action. So let me just leave you with this final thought to chew on. If the harvest really is now, and the fields are everywhere, including online, how does that change the way you might approach the first 5 minutes you spend on the internet today? Something to definitely mull over.
Indeed. Join us next time.
We trust you were blessed by this episode. To gain unlimited access to Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris, please download the Rhapsody app using the link myapp.rhapsodyofrealities.org. God bless you.